Hello, everyone. I am sorry I am late today. My internet wasn't working in the way as quickly as it normally is. I'm sorry. So, anybody on the line, I'm glad you waited. And everybody else, thank you. I'm just getting settled in here. And welcome. I'm Kim McLaughlin. Today is day 8 of our Peace with Food Halloween Challenge. And I have really enjoyed doing this, and I thank you all for participating. And this is our last official day, our last web call. And I just have experienced, I know there's been lots of learning and lots of goodness going on. Lots of takeaways. I tell you, it has been wonderful. And I even noticed for myself that I am just more conscious. I think just knowing that all of you are doing this, that we're all doing this together, puts it in the front of my mind. And that is that supportive community. Even though we might not have all been talking with each other, we know we're all here. And we know we're all active and learning the same thing at the same time. So that I think has been a really great opportunity. So I want you to consider, as we start day 8 Zoom call, what are your takeaways? What are the things that you come away with? What did you learn? And we've had a lot of learning. All of our behavior busters are the breathing in and out, the affirmations, the guidelines, the daily guidelines. There's been a lot of information that you've taken in. Hopefully it hasn't felt too overwhelming or too much, but take what you like, leave the rest. Take the ones that fit right now and integrate it in. As I told you before, we have more opportunities for us to join together again for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that can be time to get deeper learnings. All of the issues don't get solved in 8 days, but it sure gives us a good foundation and a good opportunity to move forward. So look at all the takeaways you've had, and I want you to think about what worked for you. What are the skills and the ideas that you learned that you go, wow, that really works for me? And then start thinking about, how am I going to use it moving forward? How am I going to use it moving forward? And then think about, what do I need? What do I need? What more do I need to do? What more would help me? This is that part of intuitive eating where it's not me as the facilitator telling you what works or what you should do, but it's you taking that time to check inside and go, what works for me? What does my intuition tell me I need more of? And then start doing that, because we want to become more internally aware, internally noticing, what is our good guidance? What is our good guidance system telling us? What I love about the idea of intuitive eating is that it really is connected back to our childhood, or really kind of how we were when we were born, that we knew when you were born, you knew how much to eat. You knew what worked for you. You knew what you needed. You knew that when you needed to sleep, you'd fall asleep. You can't keep a baby up. They fall asleep. You knew when you needed to eat. You would have a lot of you'd make a lot of noise if you didn't have what you needed, especially in terms of food, right? So food, you would let everybody know when you needed it. You physically knew what you needed when you were a baby. You physically knew when you needed to fall asleep, and you just fell asleep. You physically knew when you needed to pee or poop. You just do it, right? You can't hold it back when you're a baby. Your body had that wisdom. When you needed to move around, you'd move around. When you felt happy, you just expressed it. When you felt sad or scared, you expressed it. And we moved away from that. We all tend to do that. We move away from that knowing. And the intuitive eating gets us back in touch with our body and what we physically need, what's important for us. That's why I like to start with Hungry Fool at the start of our challenge. Is it becomes the foundation of getting back in touch with your body. I hope if there's one big takeaway that you have is that it's about Hungry Full. So then move on to what do you need? What do you need more of, or what do you need to keep and maintain? The other thing is I want you to consider, what challenges have you had? What have been the things that I've talked to you about that you go, oh no, I'm not doing that one, or oh, that doesn't work for me. I don't like that. I don't want to do it. Or oops, I forgot we were going to do that. I forgot. Well, what does that mean for you? How did it challenge you, or how did you kind of get in your own way of trying what we talked about? That would be really important to know, to just wonder, like, so there are these, what could be one of the things? Saying positive affirmations. I don't like positive affirmations. I want to say it. Or I forgot. Or I don't think that's right. And what was the challenge with it? And just wonder. And you can actually use that journaling that we talked about, that conscious journaling, to wonder, what is it about saying affirmations that I don't like? What bugs me about it? Or why don't I like to do it? Or what gets in the way of me doing it? And I would wonder for you what the answers might be, because I suspect the answers are pretty close to the surface in there. And sometimes doing that conscious journaling will help you get in touch with what your resistance is, right? What's my resistance? What does this resistance mean for me? So it means not that I'm telling you that you have to do whatever it is you feel resistant to, but wonder, what is this about that I feel resistant to it? And then just own that. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. I don't believe in it. Okay, but at least then you know what the resistance is. And that's a powerful place for you to be in, is to start considering what works for me and what doesn't work for me. That for me is a whole large piece of what we've been doing through this challenge, is just determining what works for you. And I've been presenting new ideas. Sometimes they might be ideas you've had before, but I'm presenting these ideas for you to wonder what works for you and what doesn't work for you. After we're done, after today, we won't have any more Zoom calls, but I'm going to have all of them up on our website, and I'm going to have the Facebook page up for another week. So you'll still be able to go back and re-listen to them. If you haven't listened to all of them, do that. No harm, no foul. Just do it now. It's okay. And then maybe wonder, what is the resistance to what was the resistance to doing it before? I get about schedules. I get that 12 o'clock Pacific doesn't work for everybody. I totally understand. But what maybe got in your way? And just wonder about that for yourself. And what kept me away, or what kept me away from maybe being active on the Facebook group, or going in there, or kind of looking at what's going on. They're still there. We're going to be there for another week. I would love to hear what's going on for you. I will totally interact with you if you come and interact on the Facebook page. It's really there because it's a way to join in community. And even if you don't feel like you want to interact, just know that I'm there, that we're there, and that there is a supportive community, even if you don't interact. So take advantage of all of this. I strongly encourage you, take advantage of all of it, because it's worth it, and you're worth it. You're totally worth all of this. You're worth the time it takes sometimes to get to understand more about yourself. So let's start in right now with our deep breathing. You know that I like to take 3 full deep breaths, and I like to close my eyes. So I'm going to do that. You can keep your eyes open as we do it, but let's practice and focus in on our 3 deep breaths. As I talk about it, I always do it in through my nose, out through my mouth. Do it any way that works for you. The third breath, as I tell you always, it really gets to me. It just kind of just makes me feel very calm and centered. And our daily affirmation, our affirmation for today is, I am open. I am open. And what are you open to? Are you open to new understandings, new way of being, open to trying some new skills that we've been talking about? I am open to looking further at food and what it might mean for me. I love what Janine Ross says is food is the doorway to understanding ourselves. And the food shows up as a way to help us understand what's going on inside of ourselves. So today's daily affirmation is, I am open. So the behavior buster today is, how do I keep this going? How do I keep all of this goodness going? How do I keep, I call it, I will often talk with my clients and with other people about it being a wellness plan. And the wellness plan is about, how do I, when I learn things, how do I keep it going? How do I keep moving forward? One of the ways people do it is they put all of the daily guidelines, all the affirmations, all of the thoughts we've had, the behavior busters, you put it in a journal and just start having it something that you can go back and look at. So how am I going to keep this going? How am I going to keep moving forward with the techniques that work for you, but also to keep the other ones in the back of your mind as something that you want to keep doing or keep trying. So how do you keep going? One is, like I said, write down all of the tools we've given you, and maybe make a decision. I like to do, here. I have my, this is my, I love this. I don't know if I've shown you guys this, but this is my, it's got a lot of stuff in it right now, but this is my daily planner. I have, and I put down things that I want to do, but I also write down personal things like, I didn't do it today, but going to the gym. I put it down and then I put an X in it. So it could be you want to look at, 5 deep breaths before every meal. You can put that in your planner as a goal for the day. Each day I want to take 5 deep breaths before I eat. Do that. For today, I want to try making sure at each meal I'm practicing hungry and full. And you can put them in your planner, in some kind of book, in some kind of journal. You can write it down and cross, put an X by it as you do it. I like to do that because if I don't have it written down, I tend to forget. So that could be something that might be beneficial to you, is to write down which of these strategies you want to use each day and then check off whether you did it or not. It'll keep it, what happens is that when we write it down, it keeps it in the forefront of our mind. And when it's in the forefront of our mind, we're more likely to do it, right? Because I put on my phone, I put my, the gym was in my phone this morning, go to the gym at 9:15. That's what I did. It's in my calendar. It's in my schedule. It was written down. When it's written down, we're more likely to do it. So finding how you're going to use all that we've learned and write it down is one of my great tips, right? So the behavior buster is, how do I keep this going? Is one, remind myself all that I've learned. Remind myself all that I've learned, and then how can I practice it each day? What would be my way of practicing it each day? And the other thing I want you to think of is, who is going to encourage you? How are you going to be encouraged to continue this positive motion? You're in positive motion mode. Positive motion mode. And how are you going to keep that going? Who's going to support you? Maybe a friend is similar to this and is open to talking about it and open to supporting you. And maybe there is ways that you can keep in contact with people who have been in this challenge. You could also sign up for the next 2 challenges where you'll have lots of support. I'll be there and lots of other people will be there for the next 2 challenges in Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I got to tell you, knowing that there are people around you, even that they're not necessarily people that you see, but virtual people that you have around you, can be very powerful and can remind you to keep on track on the things that you want to do. And what I want you to also think about is what gets in your way. What could get in your way of continuing to do these things that we've already been working on? It's always a question I ask people, like, okay, this is what you want to do. What's going to stop you from doing it? What will stop you from doing it? Work gets in the way. I need to sleep gets in the way. I have children to take care of. I have this project I have to do. I forgot. I'm too tired. All these things can get in the way. And what could you do to be on the front end of that? Knowing that we kind of go back to our old habits. It could be tomorrow you go, oh, I'll just do this other thing I used to do. I won't use hungry full tomorrow. And you'll go back to your old ways. So what can help you? What do you know that will get in your way? For me, it's often what gets in my way is I'm too tired. I'm too tired. I don't want to do it. Last night, I was really tired. I was done with the day. Although everything was, I did everything we had talked about doing for the day, but I just knew that I was just too tired, and that can get in the way of you doing what you need to do. Also, being around people that are not supportive or understanding of what we've been talking about can get in the way and kind of hold you back from moving forward. So what could you do about that? I think what I would also encourage you to do is make a list of supportive people. Who are the people you can talk to? You can share how you really feel and what's really going on, and they'll be supportive. Make sure you have a list. That's part of a plan. A wellness plan is who do I have that I could talk to? And I hope you include me as somebody that you can talk to. I'll put on our Facebook page and in our webpage, you can do a breakthrough session with me. Talk to me. Schedule a free breakthrough session to talk about what's going on for you and what you might need. Is there something I could do that could help you? I have no idea, or maybe I could steer you in a different direction to help you get to where it is you want to go. But I hope I'm included. I'll also include, there's my free Facebook page, a Feed Your Soul community, and I'll put a link to that also, because that's an ongoing community. The Peace with Food Halloween Challenges is a short-term community, but I have a long-term community on your Feed Your Soul community page on Facebook. And so it's a great place to come in. I post stuff pretty regularly, most every day. I don't interact as much as I did in the challenge page, but I totally am there, and it feels like you're part of a community. So join me there. What I also think you could do is remember what we've learned. I don't know, I said this before, but I'm going to say it again because I think this is part about how do you get support, is you get support by doing things that work. So the things that we've learned about is hungry full. We've learned about affirmations. We've learned about how to breathe, taking in the deep breath. We've learned about eating at the table. Oh, gratitude. We've learned a lot about gratitude. We've learned self-love, and we've learned journaling. I have felt so good being with you guys. I hope you felt as good. I'm going to send out a survey to see how it's been for you and see if there's anything you think should be changed, like what worked and what didn't work, and I would love to hear about it. I also would love to have you join me for the next Peace with Food challenge. And it's going to be Thanksgiving time. It's going to be the week before Thanksgiving, and then I'm going to do it at Christmas, the week before Christmas. Same kind of format. We're going to have different learnings because I'm all in for giving you, 100%, 110%, and helping you learn. But I really want you to consider joining us. I'm doing it for this group. It's 2 for 1. So you can get Thanksgiving and Christmas for $20. Seriously, $20. And you get lots of community support, my support. That much time with me costs you thousands of dollars. And it's just $20 for the next 2 times. I would love to have you join. It's not all going to be the same. So just know that. So you'll learn more and it'll be different. And also you'll learn some of the things we've already experienced, but you'll learn it at a deeper level, which we all need. I tell you, I learned more at this time, and all these things I've been teaching you, I've been doing for a long time. And I got a lot of value out of it. I want you to know that you're worth it and you're important, and spending time in this challenge is good for you. And I feel grateful that you've taken the time. And whenever your head says, I don't have time for that, I hope you hear me say you're worth it. You're worth taking the time to figure out what you need. You're worth then doing the things that you need. And you're important. You're important. I am going to sign off in a moment. I think I've gone through everything we need to know. So moving forward, I encourage you to continue the daily guidelines. And I encourage you to practice all of the behavior busters we've done. I encourage you to keep them in a journal so you know what you'd like to do, because you'll forget it. That's just how it goes. If we write it down, we'll remember it. And to check in with yourself each day and go, well, what am I going to focus on today? And start having that plan of wellness to keep all of this moving forward. I also encourage you to join in support with whomever is a supportive person to help you continue to move forward and learn and to practice all that we've learned. I hope you keep me in mind and keep me as your support person by either joining in the next challenge, which I totally think you should do. It's so worth it. And I also would love to have you join in our Facebook, our Feed Your Soul community, the free community that we have that's separate from this. It has been my good pleasure to be a part of this with you, and I am so glad you are here with me. And I am going to sign off now, and I look forward to seeing you next month in the Peace with Food Thanksgiving Challenge. This is Kim McLaughlin. I'm from Feed Your Soul Unlimited, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye, everyone.